Hi all, Rob here from Way Out West. Today I get to have a chat with Davo Fester, who will be on the drums for the Shane Pacey Trio at Way Out West this Sunday, 9th of June from 2 p.m. Davo has played drums with many Australian bands over the years and is the Australian ambassador for Playing for Change. Playing for Change is a fantastic organisation and I'll leave a link below for you to check them out. It will be well worth your time. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button as it helps this very small channel to grow. So, sit back and enjoy the interview, and we hope to see you on Sunday. Rock on, my friends. Now, you're very hard to find a lot of information on, but I've delved as far as I can. Tell us, Dave, how did you get into music? And are there some drummers that you've had over the years that have really influenced you, both international and Australian?
Yes, definitely. Started playing when I was a young boy, chose it over piano after a year of piano. A mate of mine was learning the drums, and I thought, oh, that looks much cooler than this piano stuff. So I was about 10. And then I did a little bit of pro pit drumming and stuff because I read. I went to the con for 2 years when I was 16, 17. I did like some pit work and I could read back then, couldn't now. And I went on to move to the States when I was 21. I tried 7 or 8 years in LA and I actually had a great time. I met some amazing people, played with some couple of great bands, nothing to speak of. Just had a wonderful, wonderful experience. Returned married with kids at 30. I've got 4 sons. So that got me off the drums and into the occasional jam night for about 20 years. And then when I was about 20 years ago in my 40s, I decided to get back into it. And I got back into it. I'm so fortunate to play with some of the best people in the country. The 4 stalemates I play drums for at a full-time basis are Glenn Cartier, Shane Pacey, and the B seat for the Bondi Cigars wrapped up in there. I also play with Genevieve Chadwick. I've been with her for about 10 years. And I play with PJ O'Brien. Have you heard of PJ?
Yeah,
Sure.
I know all those names, my friend. All.
So, yeah. And on a part-time basis with so many other greats. I mean,
Glenn,
in Melbourne, saying hi to Jimmy Hocking. I play with Nathan Beretta,
yeah,
and I'm one lucky son of a gun.
yeah. We had Nathan down earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Interesting. Talking about drummers, I've just finished reading a book called Drums and Demons, the story of
Wow.
Jim Gordon.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
man, what a tragic, horrible life. What a genius, but a horrible life that he had.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I want to get hold of the book. I believe the story goes well in depth. In
Yeah, it
depth.
does. It's really
Wow.
scary, really scary. Now, interesting too, Glenn Cartier. I'm a big fan of Glenn's, going way back to the 70s. Is he?
Absolutely. Well,
Is,
I was only in the last 10 years in the sideshow,
yeah,
which he also quit about a year ago.
yeah,
He laid it down after a decade of great music with Glenn Cartier and the sideshow. So it was fab. What a great band and what a great time. We did some of his old works
mm,
and he wrote a couple of albums with us as well.
yeah,
Stranger Than Fiction and just brilliant, brilliant stuff. Oh God, he seriously is a genius. I
yeah.
love him, and the
Oh,
nicest
cool.
man ever.
That's
Oh,
as a drummer, percussionist, how important it is to be as one with the bass player when you're playing live.
It's everything. It's funny. I was thinking about this and other interviews that I've given when we talk about the trio. And I thought, I've got to mention Blasie's part on this. Paul Blasie just hit next level with me. And we're great friends. And we've been playing together for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's always been good. But this album, um, we just went, you know, we just went together like glue. Seriously, we're a pair of Araldite brothers. It was so wonderful. I listen back to it and I go, geez, and in true Shane Pacey style, we did it in 96 hours. We made this album.
Wow.
Seriously, 4 full days.
I
Go
also
to row.
I also believe, do you still teach drums as well?
No, I never taught.
Never taught. Okay.
No, never taught.
Oh,
I'm not much of a teacher.
right.
I've got 4 sons of my own. I thought I'm going to give any time to anybody, any young ones, it's going to be them.
And
So
what about the other side? Because you do some event management, I believe.
yeah, that I do. That
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of promotions, a lot of festival managing. Uh, in the early days, I ran the Bondi Music Festival
Mm.
from 2002 to 2014 for 12 years. Worked with Waverley Council and down in the pavilion before it got all closed down. We worked it and had some amazing 30 band, 3 stages, 10 bands on each stage,
Wow.
starting off at locals, playing for $50, going up to some incredibly big bands like that appeared, even the Oils. We had the Black Seeds. We had some incredible bands. It was a wonderful, wonderful festival.
Yeah.
But then after that, I continued to do others, but the drumming jobs came in
Yep.
more regularly. And I don't know if you saw, I do have a hire company as well, All
Ah.
Clear Productions.
Yep.
And I hire out drum kits and backline.
Oh, yes, I did read that. Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's been going really well. You're looking at the sole company employee roster.
Beautiful.
But with 10 drum kits, I made a lot of great friends.
Yeah.
Melbourne drummers, Brizzy drummers. When they come to Sydney, they call me.
Yeah.
And it's a really personal thing. They sort of pick it up at my house. They don't have to go through here's the bond. We'll have them delivered for an extra $1,800.
Yeah.
I work it out of my garage and it's a great little biz. I love it because it keeps me in touch with Australia's best drummers. I'm friends with most of them.
Oh, fantastic.
You
There's
ask
there's one thing that I'm really keen to ask you about. Are you still an ambassador for the fantastic Playing for Change?
I sure am. I sure am.
Can you
I
tell?
just spent
I've got a
five
lot of
days
their
meeting.
merch. Can you tell our people all about Playing for Change? What's it all about?
Sure. I just spent 5 days at Blues Fest with Playing for Change. They played every single day. And I tour managed for them. I'm the Australian ambassador. Normally I can play. I'm a percussionist, I mentioned to you, Rob. And I've played percussion with them at Blues Fest. And so they're great friends. This time, though, they didn't have a percussionist. So they had an incredible 10-piece band. They are a band that represents the Playing for Change Foundation that sells merch and gets an income out of the 22 million plus YouTube hits that they've got up their belt. YouTube subscribers, I think it is, that they've got up their belt. And they work very hard to the betterment of the planet and dedicating their money into brilliant charitable choices all around the world. And it's the kind of, after Live Aid sort of faded, musos for charity, these guys started tiny in 2010 And in the last 14 years, they've just grown to be a global, representation of musicians, from the street musician to Bono and Ringo Starr and the Wait, Robbie Robertson. Take a look at the recent Playing for Change videos and the musos that they include, down to and they put their name up in lights, African, Caribbean musicians from the Congo, from the Middle East, from all over Europe, and an incredible representation all around the world. Genevieve and I are the two that have been on Playing for Change stuff, and she's Genevieve's Playing for Change experience was a video with Maroon 5's Daylight song, and Jen singing lead vocals on Daylight by Maroon 5, and it got 25 million views, and that's our little Australian Genevieve Chadwick.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm a superstar.
I'm an owner of quite a number of their T-shirts, and there's one guy that I see in New Orleans when I go with quite a lot of guitarists, Roberto Luti.
Oh, I love Roberto. He's a
His
personal
playing
friend.
is
Personal friend.
yeah,
The bad Italian.
yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
wild man. We love him.
yeah,
All
yeah,
the women just are crazy about Roberto.
yeah.
Good-looking Italian boy, eh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've met him a few times over in New Orleans.
And he's
Seen
such a
him.
great player.
Yeah, fantastic. Um, you're coming down on June the 9th, obviously with the Shane Pacey trio, and we can't
Correct.
wait. Tell us what to expect. How's it different, a Shane Pacey trio gig as opposed to a Bondi Cigars gig?
It's cleaner, no offense to the great partnership that he has with Eben. They're brilliant, the Cigars, and Al Britton, and one of my favorite drummers in the whole wide world, Frank Corby. I mean, Shane is a team player in the Cigars. This is the Shane Pacey trio. He's our only guitarist who's doing vocals at the same time, and they're his songs. So you're getting such a clean rendition of his tunes. You can hear every lyric, and he's such a great songwriter. I mean, from Who Made You King to the new ballad, Let My Conscience Be My Guide, the ballad on stage, just with the three of us, it's incredible. Think back to Shane, we were talking about great trios of the past, like Cream and et cetera, et cetera. And he went, actually, Zeppelin and The Who and many of those were also a trio, because they've got what we've got: guitar, vocals, bass, drums. So wow. You're getting a really clean Shane, in authentic Shane Pacey. The songs are fantastic, and we translate them as a band really well. It's a beautiful full sound, don't worry.
Oh, I know it will be.
Sounds good, it'll sound like a 5-piece.
How's the music scene going up in there in Sydney? Are there still a lot of gigs to be found?
I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm a positive guy, but it's running tough at the moment. It's hard to get people away from Netflix, off their comfortable couches, especially when it's cold and pouring rain. And the cost of living at the moment, tickets at 30 and 40 bucks aren't going out like hotcakes. In any genre, unfortunately, in Sydney. And it's sad to say that it is down a bit, but not to say that it's down and out. But even in a small sort of scene, there's a beautiful thing going on, where people will realize that live music feeds their soul and they can't live without it. And they, at the end of the gig, they go, thank you. That was fantastic. I love post-COVID how people come up to us and tell us their appreciation of a great show afterwards. We like to hang around, and I do anyway, and definitely ask people, were they happy? And I get a great vibe.
Now that's the best. I say it quite often. You know, we couldn't live without you guys. So it's yeah. Thank you for
Exactly.
keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And make sure you bring plenty of CDs down on Sunday because
Of
we're a good
course.
seller. Yeah,
Of
you know,
course.
yeah, we do sell quite a lot.
We've even got some okay t-shirts. You sort of pre-order and they get sent straight from the printers.
Okay.
And so we've got a nice t-shirt for $30 and we're selling our other albums,
Mm,
Watch Out and Helios, just for $10.
okay.
So, and they're brilliant. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've heard Watch Out.
I have got Watch Out. I'm pretty sure I've
Right.
got Watch Out, and
What about Helios?
I haven't. No, I haven't heard Helios.
Well,
No.
that's good because Helios is Shane's concept album.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Watch Out we did as a really solid blues album. It had only a couple of originals and a lot of covers. So we just put out the trio as a beautiful blues
Yeah.
cover. You know, mainly Shane wanted to play that music of the Chess era and Peter Green, and
Yeah.
that's why it's called Watch Out.
Yeah.
So, but then Shane come up with a brilliant original album with Helios Rise
Yeah.
as song number one, Helios Set, the sun rises and sets, and with a glass of wine and
Yeah.
listen from go to up,
Yeah. Right.
it'll take you back to those concept album
Oh
days.
well, I'll do that. Well,
Yeah,
I'll follow it up with a Jethro Tull or something like that too.
exactly. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Oh,
All right, mate. They're the all I've got. I'm sorry for mucking you around
not
earlier.
at all. Not at
Safe
all.
travels when you come down. Oh, and what other
We
gigs you got
fly
in?
down on tomorrow morning.
Yeah, what other gigs you got around town?
We've got Friday night at Pete's. It's sold out.
Yep,
Pistol Pete's
yep,
in Geelong. Sold out. Thank you.
yep.
And Pistol Pete's is closing, by the way.
Yeah,
Sad.
I know. It's real
Sad.
sad.
June 30.
Yep,
Another live venue bites the
yep,
dust. Thank you,
yep,
Dan Andrews. Thank you,
yep.
our guy, whoever it was. Gladys. Let's not talk politics, but
No, no.
no, the closing of venues over the COVID years was a sad state of
Yeah.
affairs.
Not only do we miss out on great music at Pistol Pete's, but great food. That
Yeah, great food.
Yeah, authentic New Orleans food.
And then on Saturday night, we're in St Kilda at George Lane.
Yeah, that's a cool little place. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Apparently,
and
that's a great little place
yeah,
too.
the guys that run it are really nice guys. They're really music freaks. So
Great.
yeah, yeah. So you'll love
Great.
it
They're
there.
going to love us.
Yeah, and then you'll love it, and then we'll see you over on Sunday. So safe
Yeah.
travels, Davo.